Hi there, I'm Anna Prosser-Robinson for GameSpot here at E3 2014, and I'm sitting with some very special guests here at the Turtle Beach booth. And since you guys are more well-known maybe for what you sound like even than what you look like, why don't you introduce yourselves and give a little tidbit of what people at home might know you for. Can we start with you?
Sure, I'm John DiMaggio, and you might know me as a frisky robot that likes booze.
Bender.
I got it.
Right.
I'm Nolan North, and I do a lot of games. Nathan Drake, the Penguin, Dr. Richtofen, etc., etc. Let's go to.
Thank you for that. Let's get it out of. I'll pull out. I'm.
Who are you?
Who am I? I'm Troy Baker. I played Joel in The Last of Us. I was Booker DeWitt in Bioshock Infinite. I got to follow in this guy's footsteps and be Joker in Arkham Origins. And yeah.
You guys just finished a panel here at Turtle Beach about bringing sound to life. Is that right?
Apparently.
That's what it was called.
Apparently.
That's a great term. We should have used that.
Where were you when we needed you? We basically were paraded out there like they're just circus monkeys. They gave us microphones. I don't even remember what I said.
And a lot of bananas.
Well, I mean, I walked in here and you guys were already spitting voices back and forth, so I would say you don't need too much guidance.
We just don't stop. It's just a constant bumping into walls and making voices as we do it.
I think people don't understand that literally what we get paid to do on a day-to-day basis. Some people more days than others. But what we do is exactly what we do in the in our normal life. I mean, seriously. I mean, we have more fun between takes than we do actually working. So, because he'll be doing voices, and I'll think, oh, I got to steal that for my next job, and then he'll do something, and I'll go, oh, I got to steal that. I steal more of his though.
Well, speaking of your job, for people at home who might not be too familiar with what a voice actor actually does to make a voice for film, for television, for games, what is it like to sit down and create a character in a voice for a video game? And what's that process from you to the gamer?
Well, I mean, it's different. It's different than animation, I can tell you that much, because in animation you have a script that you stick to. It's either 11 minutes or 22 minutes, depending on the length of the project. If it's a film, then, you have a lot more dialogue. But with a game, the performance is you have to go through the whole game, and there's so much that you do as far as gameplay is concerned. All the oomphs and ahs and everything, and that, I mean, that's pages and pages of stuff that we have to go through. So it's a little different than doing animation, but it's just as fun and it's just as thrilling. I mean, I grew up playing video games, so to be able to be in one is kind of cool. I used to play Gears of War a lot when I was single and living in an apartment in Hollywood, and all my neighbors thought I was crazy because I was talking to myself too much, and they didn't realize that I was actually coming out of the speaker and yelling at the game. It was kind of... It's still crazy. I still have to take the meds, but I don't anymore.
Well, see, so you kind of were talking to yourself, like you could yell at yourself.
I'm not taking the meds anymore.
You're supposed to be taking your meds.
I'm not taking the meds anymore. No.
It's okay.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No, it's okay. But it's. I mean, it's a lot of fun to get to craft a character is a joy, and yeah, we all have a blast, and that's a lot of fun. What?
I just where my mind went. It's like, guys, we've lost John. He last seen running naked through the West Hall.
Well, speaking of running through the halls, you guys have quite devout followings in video games. I mean, all day, as I've let people know I was going to get to talk to you, they were so excited to hear about that, to see this interview. What is it like to be at E3 and to kind of have that recognition and, walk around? Do you get recognized? Do you sign things? Do people ask you to say things?
All the time, and that's pretty cool because I mean this is a level playing field of nerddom, and that's one thing that I love. And even among like the other developers, it's there's kind of this sense of competition kind of dies down a little bit because everyone's just excited to see what everyone's been working on for so long. And so we're just here bebopping around. I got excited to see Call of Duty. I went to the Mortal Kombat 10 demo and was just laughing. It was I don't know how they haven't managed to keep that or how they've done it to keep it fresh. You think of 20 years it'd be old, but it's not. It's just so good. So yeah, and so when someone stops and goes, "Hey, I know who you are because of something cool that you did that means a lot to me," that's pretty rad, you know. So I'm always grateful when people say that.
I always think that that's our version of applause, really, because we don't get to hear what people think of it. And then when we come to like a convention like this, or to a Comic-Con, or to conventions across the country, it's anywhere. It's always nice to have people come up to you and say how much they appreciate your work. It's just sometimes there isn't enough hand sanitizer to go around. So I'm kidding, kids. I'm kidding.
A lot of times
Hang your towels, kids. Hang your towels to dry.
A lot of times it ends with a Silkwood shower.
Yeah. Silkwood shower. And
Well, in speaking about your craft and these deep, meaningful things that we're talking about, when someone comes to you and says, this character of yours really meant something to me, it's part of my story, it's, something that I will take with me into the rest of my life. How does that feel? And does that...
First day, John? First day.
I'll tell you, I did an appearance one time in London, and like a 40-something-year-old constable from another town actually came 3 hours to tell me how much he enjoyed the Uncharted experience, because he said, my life is, I wake up, I remember in every case, I wake up, I take my tea, I go to work, I come home, I play Uncharted, go to bed, same thing. And, here's somebody who's, a law enforcement in the UK, and he had, he told me, I'll never get a chance to go to these places, to do these things, to be this hero. He said, but I get to feel like that, and I wanted to come down here just to say hello to you and just thank you. And I've never forgotten that, because, let's face it, I played games when I was a kid, and you meet some of the younger kids and boys and girls, and they come out, and but the gamers become more savvy, they've gotten older and more sophisticated, and then to meet somebody like that, who clearly wasn't much of a gamer, but he loved that particular game, and it struck him in a certain way, and I'll never forget that. It was one of the, I joke around a lot, but that was one of the people that, made me, whenever I get kind of frustrated or something with something in this business, which I never should, because we're pretty lucky to be doing this, I think of something, I think of him, because what we do does affect people, and it's I know some people who are, big fans of the games that they've been in, I've been in, and maybe they're, they can't do anything else. I've met some kids with cerebral palsy that are big time gamers, and their life is in that chair, and these games take them to a place that nobody can go to except a true hardcore gamer. So it means a lot.
There's definitely meaning to be found in video games, for sure.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of heart in it. A lot of heart.
Well,
Silkwood.
Well, in terms of what's up next for all of you guys, what exciting projects can we look forward to from each of you?
What can I say? There's a fun crossover Simpsons Futurama episode coming up in October, which is it's pretty awesome. It's really awesome. Gosh, what else? There's Adventure Time is still going strong. Gosh, what else? There's all sorts of stuff. But there's a thing that the three of us are doing. That are we allowed to talk about? Just say that we're doing it? No. Because the last I heard, there's a big performance capture game that we performed in together. That was really a lot of fun. I hit him in the genitals during filming. It was very funny. Yeah, right on the whap.
It got more of the twig, less of the berries.
Yeah. But yeah.
In a good way.
Yeah. But the three of us are in a really, really big game, and we're really excited about it. And yeah, so that's good, and that's coming up.
I'm pretty big. There's a game called the Shadow of Mordor that may or may not have all three of us.
Again, Silkwood.
It could be.
Okay. Anything else coming up from you?
No, I'm not doing anything.
All right. And you, Troy, what's exciting from you?
I'm excited about Uncharted 4 coming out because they just showed the trailer at the Sony press conference and it looks amazing. And I'm a huge fan of the Uncharted series. I hate this guy, but I love Nate Drake. We've got Call of Duty Advanced Warfare is a game that's actually coming this year, unlike some other games. I'm super. So I'm excited about that. Shadow of Mordor, which is coming this year. Lego Batman 3, and there's some other good things that are on the horizon. Far Cry 4.
I got a really cool thing. The DVD with all the extras and all the fun stuff for I Know That Voice.
Oh, there we go. Nice plug.
The documentary I did about voiceover actors. You were in that.
I was in that.
Yes, you was. June 17th. Check the website. Check Amazon.com. It's a doozy. It's really, really, really good, and it's got so much stuff in it that we weren't able to fit in the movie, and so that's really cool. So check that out.
Awesome, guys. I'm getting the I have to wrap it up signal from my producer, but I could talk to you guys all day. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Let me know what exciting things you think are coming up for these guys, what you're really looking forward to from them by tweeting at Anna Prosser with the hashtag GameSpotE3.